An extended lockdown and curfews for Greater Sydney. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, we're going to have a look at the latest statement from the Premier in New South Wales regarding, well, extended lockdowns, curfews for certain LGAs, a bit of sad news. But before we do that, I want to put a plug in for my live stream tonight. I want to look at all of the different political party COVID policies. Now, I am perhaps naively optimistic that all of these interventions in people's day-to-day lives will cause them to actually think about politics for probably the first time ever. And it might persuade them or push them to vote a different way or to look at which parties restricted their freedoms and which parties put fear ahead of logic and sensible approaches to policies. Yesterday, we looked at the LDP, their policies there, and I thought there's some very, very sensible and reasonable positions to put forward. So I thought tonight for Freedom Friday, we'll look at all of them. So I've started to go and cobble some together from the different parties that have got statements on there. And oh boy, wait till you see the Greens, guys. Maybe I'll save them for last. But anyway, let's start by having a look at this statement. New protections and compliance rules to carry New South Wales through to vaccination targets. Oh boy. In response to the evolving Delta outbreak, New South Wales will extend the current lockdown in Greater Sydney until the end of September and introduce new rules targeting the local government areas of concern where the vast majority of new cases are emerging. New South Wales Health and Police have worked together to develop a set of additional COVID controls for the state to reduce transmission and ensure compliance. So, additional rules for the LGAs of concern. From 12:01 a.m. on Monday the 23rd of August, so in 3 days, the following additional rules will apply for residents and businesses in the LGAs of concern. Curfew will be introduced from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. You've got a curfew, everyone. Except for authorized workers, emergencies, or medical care, or to help reduce the movement of young people. Outdoor exercise is limited to 1 hour per day. The following retail premises must close, except for click and collect: garden centres and plant nurseries, office supplies, hardware and building supplies. There goes Bunnings. Landscape material supplies, rural supplies, pet supplies. Tradespeople are allowed to shop in-store where relevant, but I thought it was click and collect. And all exams and other education or professional development-related activities will move online, not including the HSC. The government will provide further information on its education plan in due course. The following new restrictions around workplaces and authorised workers from the LGAs of concern will be introduced. Childcare workers and disability support workers who live or work in the LGAs of concern must have their first vaccination dose by the 30th of August. There you go, everyone. We're moving to mandatory vaccinations here. And I know here's the thing why I'm not outraged about this, because we already have it in place in Australia. People have already accepted it. I think people are just starting to realize what we've forced on other people in this country. They're going, never in Australia, but it's already happening in Australia, guys. It's already happening. This is where, when people are saying wake up, it's not wake up to some grandiose conspiracy because bloody hell, civil servants and people are too unorganized and inefficient. It's to wake up to what you've voluntarily voted for and accepted in the politicians, in the people standing there, in the media releases they were putting out, in the powers that they were giving. We were lucky we didn't get the cash ban. It was pure luck, honestly. That someone happened to notice it, get in touch with the Citizens Party, and it just spread out from there. That was pure luck. Because they had public consultation, they had all of that. Even I didn't know about it. It's like a couple of hundred people there. It's the same way that they bring all these other rules in place that gives them this power. Okay? There's you can't blame anyone else. There's no shadowy group here, orchestrating it all. It's people being apathetic, not giving a shit about politics, and not paying attention to what's been going on. And we can all admit that that's been us at one part or another. Come on. Because we've got our lives. And we don't give it. I was talking to a neighbor literally this morning. He was asking why I was wearing a suit. He thought I was going to a wedding. I said, no, I'm doing a YouTube. And he doesn't give a shit about politics. He's not interested in it. And I'm going, well, that's the problem. That's the problem. Of course, you're only going to get, bastards in politics. Of course, you're only going to get people who want to leech off the system in the bureaucracy. Normal people need to start taking an interest. I'm hoping this is what will be the outcome of all of this. A great awakening in political interest in the average Australian and a fight for individual liberty and agency. Maybe I'm being too naive. Wait till you see the green policies, guys. Bloody hell. Unbelievable. Anyway, authorized workers who work outside their LGAs of concern are only permitted to work if rapid antigen testing is implemented at their work site or they have had their first vaccination dose by 30th of August. From Saturday, the 28th of August, authorised workers from the LGAs of concern are required to carry a permit from Service New South Wales declaring that they are an authorised worker and cannot work from home. And from Saturday, the 28th of August, anyone entering an LGA of concern for the purpose of work must carry a work permit issued by Service New South Wales. This feels like papers, please. You have your work permits, comrade, as you cross the border. Bloody hell. Imagine if you had have mentioned that this would be happening. Curfews in Sydney a year ago. What would people have thought? They would have thought you're a bloody nutcase. Did you know they have the power to do that? From 12:01 a.m. Monday the 23rd of August, workers from the Canterbury, Bankstown, Cumberland and Fairfield LGAs will no longer have to be tested for COVID-19 in the previous 72 hours to work outside their LGAs. Special powers will also be given to the New South Wales Police Force, including power for the Commissioner of Police to lock down apartment blocks while health assesses the COVID risk. Well, there you go. We've caught up to China, guys. It took us a while. Will they bother welding the doors shut? We probably have more police than the Chinese. We won't just weld the doors shut. And maybe, honestly, it's because we've got our aluminium door frames. It'll cost too much to weld them shut. Power of the Commissioner of Police to declare a residential premises a COVID risk premises and require all people to present to police during compliance checks. Now, remember, we looked at all of the emergency... Last year, we looked at the emergency powers in Victoria that was pushed through. They could do all this. Powers to allow police to direct a person who has been issued with an infringement notice to return to their place of residence. And if a person from outside an LGA of concern is found to be in an LGA of concern without a reasonable excuse, they will be fined $1,000 and required to isolate at home for 14 days. Additional measures for Greater Sydney, including regional New South Wales until the 28th of August. From 12:01 a.m., Monday the 23rd of August, the following additional rules will also be introduced for Greater Sydney, including regional New South Wales until the 28th of August. Mask wearing will be mandatory when outside your home, except when exercising. And I know there's some people that just love their masks, probably because, they're... I'm going to make the joke about people being ugly, but, come on, you don't really care, honestly. It's all to do with confidence, guys. If you've got an ugly face, you just step up. Look at me, I'm a bald man. I don't give a shit. That's part of it. And we all know, for blokes, it's the size of your wallet that really matters. I'm not a fan of masks. I understand the reasoning behind it. It's probably a very low-cost method to try and reduce the R value. But still, it just doesn't sit right with Western culture, does it? Really doesn't. As a children's cartoons, it was the criminals wearing those. I listened this morning. This morning I was in bed. I slept in, guys. That's why you're getting the first video I've recorded is at 12 o'clock after I've done some real work. I listened to the kids playing Lockdown in their children's game. This is going to leave a legacy on these children. And for my kids, it's been hardly any difference to our lives at all. There have been a number of cases in early childhood education and care services, So parents and carers across the strait are strongly encouraged to keep their children at home unless they need to be at those services. So there you have it, everyone. An extended lockdown, curfews, mandatory masks in New South Wales. What do you think? What is the solution and the takeaway to this? Well, let's get on the soapbox. I still hope that there is a political solution to these interventions in our daily lives. I'm concerned that there are a lot of people that actually like these lockdowns. And there are people out there that like the government protecting them and taking care of them. But there are people that are frustrated at the destruction of business, the whole approach to just blanket locking everything down, and, well, the haphazard plan in vaccinating people, how badly it was run. I'm hoping the solution is political activism in a sensible level. Voting, using your preferences, voting for minor parties that have COVID policies, sensible policies that you support. Now, no one party is going to be the savior. No one politician is going to be the bee's bloody knees, everyone. You can't. You see these people who will just, vote Labour forever, and then all of a sudden you get some, sexist bunch of feminists in there degrading men, and you got union guys voting for them. I don't understand how that works. It's because people aren't paying attention to who they're voting for. They're just going along with the flow. The solution is to take an interest. The solution is to be active. So watch my Twitch, guys, and let's have a look. Let's have a look at the policies of some of the parties out there and see who you would vote for and who you wouldn't. Because there's still time. Okay, there is still time. We've seen the powers that we've handed over to our leaders. We can undo those powers. It's not the end of the world. There are people there who are thinking, oh, there's no point, or it's hopeless, or it's all rigged. They've lost hope. Forget about those whingers, okay? They're not worth your time. They're probably not even going to vote. They'll just do draw a dick on the ballot and not even bother. They're a lost cause. You want to get the people who are the flippers, who might all of a sudden start shifting to a minor. You start seeing LDP, or you start seeing One Nation, or you start seeing minor parties get a bigger chunk. So potentially the major need preferences, or they need to form a coalition. That's what you want with one of these minor parties. Then we'll start to see some changes in Australia. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts, opinions on this one in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching. Sorry to all our New South Wales viewers that have to go through this. I'll raise a stein to you. If you're a fan of the channel and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can sign up for SelfWealth or Stake. You can use our affiliate links on Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.